Welcome to the 2350 Effect. Meet the Presenters Week.
All right, everybody, and welcome to the 2350 Effect. This is Meet the Presenters Week, so this is day 2 of Meet the Presenters Week. As always, I am Damian Kinsey. I am the co-creator of the 2350 Network and the 2350 Effect. And how it kind of makes sense is this: the network is the cause, and the effect is this room. And I'm also the co-creator and collaborator of the Virtual Wellness Summit and also the upcoming Professional Work-Life Balance Summit, which is the reason that we're here today. And I'm always joined by my co-host and collaborator and partner, Dr. Farron. Dr. Farron, you want to tell people a little bit about yourself?
Yes. Hi, everyone. I am Tanya Farron. I'm the other half of that co-hosting of the 2350 Effect, of the 2350 Network, and of the Work-Life Balance Summit and the Virtual Wellness Experience. So happy to partner along with Damian for some of those projects, but also the owner of Creative Living Ideas and, the author of 9 different books, and also host professional development for educators, other people in the corporate world. So very excited to be here tonight. It's Meet the Presenters Week, night 2. Such fun. We have the best time talking to these presenters. In fact, little secret, we were in the middle of a conversation and Damien had said, okay, we're done. You got to go down. So, who knows where this conversation will end up tonight. We'll try to keep us on track.
Yes, we'll definitely try to keep us on track. We have so many guests here, and we have so many people in the audience. Welcome Melissa, welcome Leslie, welcome Noni, and anybody else is out there. Make sure you put yourself in the chat. And if you are coming up as LinkedIn user, put a dash and put your name so we know who you are, so we can kind of shout you out. Camille, who was here last night, we had so much fun having a conversation with her as well. So thank you for being here. Without further ado, we kind of bring up our first guest. Our first guest is a traveler, peacemaker, executive director, entrepreneur, mediator, an author, also an advocate for reentry and restorative justice and recidivism. She is the owner and founder of Tripping with Jax. She is the founder of Home Reentry. You can see her around LinkedIn hosting several audio rooms like Wishful Wednesday, Finding Your Purpose, Voices of Reentry, and she even has a new one that she's kind of thinking about. Is she going to do it every month, every quarterly? So I'll let her talk about that. And she is definitely here to talk about the Professional Work-Life Balance Summit, and she is presenting. Please welcome, without further ado, Jackie Herberg to Meet the Presenters Week. Jackie, welcome.
Hey guys.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for being here. I'm excited as well. And then
I've been waiting for this, man. We have some great people tonight. I'm so excited.
Yes. Now, and our second guest is a big proponent of mental health, a supporter of she's a podcast, she does a podcast, she hosts, she speaks, she's big into public speaking. She has a great ability to utilize grief, empathy, and understanding in a way where, in my opinion, it should be taught at the higher ed level, because she does it in a way where it's easily digestible. It's so interactive, and she does it in a circle environment where it's talkative. I've been able to attend so many of her workshops during these summits. She is an amazing therapist with about over 7 years experience in the private practice sector. Her presentation on the first day of the summit, it is how to increase self-awareness. Please welcome Deanna Pelly to the stage. Deanna.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. It's good to see you guys.
I'm excited as well.
Yeah.
Likewise. And the hits keep rolling because we have so many people. This next person is a system implementation strategist, a project manager, a social media marketer, hosts lives and audio events on LinkedIn. I've had the pleasure of seeing her in the room. She has a great ability to close the loop on any conversation and discussion in a way where it makes sense and is straight to the point. She is presenting on the work-life balance, professional work-life balance summit. Her topic is scaling your business, scaling your life, strategies to entrepreneur growth and balance. She's a big proponent of not having you sacrifice your ability to be an entrepreneur, to sacrifice your well-being. Please welcome Teecee Okori to the stage. Okay.
Yay!
This is because
I'm
it's
so
like 4 in the
excited.
morning where you at. All right. Thank you. And then our last guest is an educator with over 25 years experience. She's a big advocate of education, parents, student engagement and activity. She has written several books. Her new book that she wrote, she came onto the 2350 Effect. She had a big conversation with us. She utilized AI to help write the book. She has her own particular network. She has several different podcasts. And the easiest way to try to remember what the podcasts are, her rooms, her network, is that she put it all together, and it's empowering educators. So, and she also has I'll let her explain what Ignite means, because that's just not what the word is. It's an actual acronym that breaks down what a training. Please welcome Dr. Mel Vanderpool to the stage. Dr. Mel, welcome.
Hello,
All right.
everyone.
All right. So we have
I
all
love
our
it.
guests here. This is beautiful.
I know. I grin. I think my grin just gets bigger and bigger and bigger as each person comes up, and I sit and I think about, when did I first meet them? And, whether it was Teecee blew me away in an audio room once, and I was like, I'm writing this girl's name down right now. We're connecting, and, between you and Jackie working on Wishful Wednesdays, a friend introduced me to Deanna, and Dr. Mel and I connected on LinkedIn also a year ago already now. It's been over a year. Just so excited to have all these people here. You guys are amazing. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And as always, we always start this show off with a Now, we always start off with a laugh or call a text, which means that in the last 7 days, what is that thing that stuck out to you or you thought about that popped in your head that made you either laugh out loud, call someone, or text? Dr. Farron, you want to go first?
I do want to go first. I already kind of shared with the group a little bit, but so last night, the musician Pitbull was in concert in the St. Louis area. I had some family members, some friends go. Nobody invited me, but I did get some amazing videos this morning of Pitbull in concert, and that made my day for sure. That was great to wake up to. Any other Pitbull lovers out there? Not necessarily the dog. I mean, I do like the dog too, but the musician. Drop it in the chat. Let us know. All right. Who wants to go next? Who thought about their laugh, call, or text? Teecee's ready. I can tell. She's got her hand on the mic.
Okay, so let me share this with you. So earlier today, the boys, for some reason, I don't know, I think they got in a fight. And so they have like this very, very little fight. So I just heard mommy, mommy, mommy. And I'm like, okay, it wasn't time for me to come out. And so I finally came out, and my two boys had their powder. So they had like this whole, everything that they were all white, like from their head to their toes, they were all white. And they're like, mommy, mommy, can you see me? And I'm like, they were all white. I'm like, what happened? Their entire room within like 30-40 minutes were like turned upside down. My boys were all white. Like they literally emptied their 2 bottles of powder on themselves. I don't know what they were trying to do. I don't know if they were fighting or but it was so funny to me that I just laid down helpless, laughing. I was laughing so hard that my tummy started to ache. My husband came in and he's like, "What happened?" And I'm like, "Look," and he just started laughing. And when I saw this, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, like I need to share this." Sometimes I wish that I can take these pictures because those boys are just hilarious. Okay, so I wanted to share because it was such a sight. I took pictures because I know when they grow up, they'll be like, "No, I didn't do that. No, I was always well behaved," and I'm definitely going to shoot them. So I want to share that.
That is awesome. That is hilarious. I bet you did think that was funny. I'm telling you, I don't. Was that a boy thing, Dr. Mel? I think Dr. Mel has had a few boys. All right, who wants to go next?
I'll go.
All right.
Yeah. Well, this comes by way of Snapchat, so it's not really a left or like a call or text, but my sister and I have a 2100-day Snapchat streak. This is my claim to fame, like being with the kids. We communicate in some capacity every day. She's my best friend. And lately it's just revolved around one of us enabling the other to go get coffee. That's all it is. And that's because that's what we do all the time when we're together. But today she didn't even need my help. She just like came on. She's like, obviously I have to get coffee because I got Dunkin' Donuts this morning because the Starbucks line was too long and it was terrible. So I couldn't drink it. So then she had to go to Starbucks to get coffee after school, after a rough day with her students and stuff. So it's kind of a joke that happens between the two of us, but it's become quite entertaining for me and for her, I think. So
I love that.
That's what came to my mind.
Mm-hmm. Well, then you think about, did you get your coffee today? What did you snap her back? You had to have said something like streak.
Right. I did snap her back. I think I snapped her back my own like I just made coffee here at home, but I'll get it tomorrow. Don't worry. It's always on my Tuesday agenda.
Okay. All right, Jackie, what do you have for us?
So I'm just not as hilarious as you guys, apparently. Poor Damien's had to listen to all my texts this week because there's been a little drama going on. But one of the silliest things today, today was a Monday for me, guys, and it was just like a nonstop revolving door. So I had this group at the end of the day. It was a court-ordered group, and the people could not get their camera on. They could not figure out how to talk to me. They didn't apparently know how to check the chat because I'm writing all the things in there. And I'm telling them to call me. I couldn't remember my phone number. So I have like a Google number that we publish for people to call me if they need to text me at work because I don't want my personal number on there. So I had to get into my Google and text myself to remember what the number was. And I'm literally like laughing at my own self because I'm like, how do you not know this? You have had this number for 4 years. It has been through you for 4 different businesses. You should know this phone number. It's yours. You use it every week. So I just kind of had to laugh at myself today because if not, it probably would have just stressed me out a whole bunch.
I hear you. I definitely hear you. You know what? I'm just going to say, here's my phone number on my Post-it note on my screen.
Oh, I love that.
So you're not alone. I just write it down because how many times I've been like, my number is.
Now, I can still remember my phone number from before I turned 20, but I can't remember my own Google number.
Right. I love it. Dr. Bill, what do you have?
Well, first, yes, boys use up everything possible. We never had tape or string or staples or anything like that at our house because they were always around a tree or taped up to the wall or something. So if you wanted anything like that, you had to hide it. I don't really have anything specific, but my 3 boys think they are God's gift to humanity for being hilarious. And so there's always something going on. But now that I have a daughter-in-law and then my middle son has a girlfriend that they've been together for a little while now, my kids get to rank up and down on who I like and who I dislike on certain days based on their behavior and the stupid things they say to me. So, yeah, I love them. They all know that I love them, but some days I love one more than the other. And they get to rank up and down. So you can always gain your position back, especially if you buy me coffee.
I like the friendly competition. I love that. Love the friendly competition. That's awesome. Damien.
Yeah, I'll just keep it simple. It was just basically reaching out to my mom and say hello.
Well, that was nice.
Thank you. And I understand, Dr. Mel. Those are just toys. We utilize them. And they become survival utilization tools for us.
Oh, I'm sure if they got lost in the wilderness, they could survive on duct tape or something. So,
Yeah, definitely. All right, Dr. Perry, you want to ask the first question?
I would love to ask the first question. Okay, we are going to I think what I want to ask you guys is, who inspired you to be in the profession that you are in? Who inspired you to be in the profession that you're in? While they're thinking, Damien, I'm going to put you on the spot and let you go first because they're going to get a minute of think time.
Well, I don't think I had anybody who inspired me to be in the profession I'm in. I think it happened by luck. My story is I had to get out of school, do an internship. I tried to do it quickly, and I did the hours, and all of a sudden I looked up and I had 4 times the amount of hours I was supposed to do. And I just started working from there. So that's kind of how it happened for me. It was just me trying to get it over as quick as possible at first. But
I love that. I get it. All right, you pass the torch to somebody else.
let's go with Dr. Mel.
all right. Well, I actually started college as a business major. And when I got to the accounting classes, I'm like, I hate this. I really hate this. And my best friend she was in the education program and she was loving it. And I'm like, wow, she likes her career path way better than I do. So she kind of inspired me to become an educator. So I went into class the week I'd already signed up in my business classes. And the week that school was supposed to start, college was supposed to start, I went in and changed my major. Even with the professors that I'd had all the time before, like in the business end of things, they didn't even know that I had switched majors that week. And they were like sending me stuff. Yeah. But I've loved it ever since.
That's funny.
Yeah, I got another question to follow up after everyone goes. Dr. Mel.
All right. Teecee.
So I don't know if this is going to be a part of the question, but I don't think it's a who for me. I think it's what. For me, it's not a who, it's a what. And what inspired where I am right now, it's I don't know if it's a good inspiration or maybe that's what we'll call it, but I think it was fear. My fear of being a liability, my fear of what's going to happen to me next, my fear of maybe the unknown, my fear of if I don't, find my own path, if I don't find my own definition of freedom, other people would literally rule my life. And that part I don't like. I love being in control of who I am, of what I am, of my surroundings. And, just that fear during that I think it was 6 months, 1 year, that entire fear, I think 6 months was the most interesting month of my entire life. And that inspired me to telling myself, okay, you know what, I need to stick with, what I do. I need to be intentional about, my skills, my knowledge, and make it work. So that was it. So I don't know if it fits into the question, but
of course it does. It's your answer. It's your answer. It fits. Absolutely. It makes perfect sense. Deanna, how about you?
So I would say kind of similar. There wasn't a specific person or so that inspired me to be a therapist. I think most therapists probably would tell you they were like caregivers from a really young age, and I definitely am included in that. But when I went to college, I studied theology actually, but I did it with the long-term goal of becoming a therapist. I knew that's what I wanted to do. It's one of those professions where age benefits you a little bit. So I did not, I worked in higher ed. I did a few other things before I went to grad school. And yeah, I've had a lot of key supporters along the way, a lot of people in in my corner, really cheering me along and supporting me, which has been critical in terms of pursuing this passion of mine. And I love it. I'm curious about people. I want to know why people are the way they are. And I have a real high capacity for emotions. I don't care how you feel. Just be honest with me about how you feel. And I can work with what's real. I can work with what you tell me. And so that kind of keeps me going.
I love the curiosity. Jackie, tell us.
So I grew up with my dad having severe PTSD and a lot of medical conditions that started when I was in first grade. And I just kind of naturally went into that caregiver role at a very, very, very young age, and knew I was going to be a helper in some capacity. But I figured I was either going to help build things and be an actual like architect or an engineer, or I was going to help build people back up. So I went to college thinking I was going to have this beautiful college degree where I'd sit at an office across a desk from somebody and just fix all their issues. I thought I was going to be this amazing therapist with a bachelor's degree that was called family studies, not social work. Did not realize you couldn't do any kind of social work classes at that time with that degree. So then I went back for my master's a few years later, and I got the opportunity to sit across a desk from little kids. I was so excited to do school counseling. And then my supervisor told me, oh, guess what? Now we need you to work in the court systems. And now you got to work with kids involved in juvenile court, not in the cute little kids in the little place where we could play Play-Doh and everything like that. So I was kind of voluntold to get into the criminal justice work. And I'm so thankful for that, because I really don't know where I would be without all the reentry and restorative justice work that I've been able to do.
Amazing, our path sometimes, the journey we end up taking, right, to get to where we are. I love that. Kind of the same thing, a lot of you have said, same thing with me. It wasn't really a person. It was, other events that sort of led me to get into education. I did always love playing teacher, and I did have some pretty amazing teachers. I also had some pretty not amazing teachers. And that really fueled my fire to treat my students differently and my staff differently. So, yeah. All right, Damien, you said you had a follow-up you wanted to grab.
So this made me think about a question for everybody, because what Dr. Mel said. So Dr. Mel talked about going and having a business degree and then switching up just before and then going into education. And I know branding-wise, your book, your network, your presentation is about empowering educators. It's about educators, the entrepreneur, igniting igniting, in which you can actually explain what ignite means to everybody. What is the biggest advice that you got that you didn't think was advice at one point that propelled you to utilize it now in your career? So, for instance, for me as a kid, I played sports, and I wasn't allowed to play at times on my in my age group. They would make me play up. And then at times I would coach my age group. So it prepared me now to learn how to teach and coach and facilitate with people. So that's kind of how it worked for me. So what is the thing that you learned that translates that you didn't think translated before?
For me, I was always the person who was like, I can do it myself and I don't need your help, and I'll take 10 times longer to do it just to prove to you that I can, rather than get your help. And as I have grown up and become more mature and seasoned and realized, guess what? You don't know all the answers after all. And there's some pretty smart people in the world. So maybe you can leverage their knowledge to help you a little bit. And so that is really the biggest thing that has changed for me, is leveraging networking and then leveraging the knowledge of other people.
I love that. Teecee, what is that thing that when at the point you were getting it and receiving it, that it just didn't translate to you, and then later on you was like, all right, this fits here?
So I think I I always like to feel like I've got this plan. Like everything about me is to have a plan, It has to be this way, this from here to here, then it goes this way and then it goes that way, and this is how we're going to do it and all of it. But then I realized that life itself cannot work always that way. Like if you keep wanting to stay in this whole line of perfection, you're just going to get stuck, which I did. And I got to that stage where I'm like, what do I do? Like, where else do I move? Like, what do I do to myself? And that was like one of the, biggest confusion of my entire life, So then I realized that there's this one thing that she was a family friend before she became my mentor. Right. And then there's this thing she's always saying that it's not about how good or how perfect you think the plan is. It's the fact that for every step you're progressing, you're taking that one step at a time, and you're leveling up and you're getting the best, it's not you always. And she's always like, see, you don't always have to do it perfectly. Just move, just keep moving. That's it. I think I didn't understand it until I got stuck, and that's changed a lot of things, even the way I see life generally. I think when it hits you sometimes before your brain then, reset and you're like, oh, okay. So I think that's it for me.
Love that. I'm going to adjust the question a little bit for Jackie and Deanna. The question is, what is the food that you didn't like as a kid that you like now?
That's horrible, Damien. We were all excited about what we learned 20 some years ago that just now makes sense. Oh, food. I would have to say it's a variety of fruit and vegetables. Like never in my life would I have eaten kiwi before or, tried things like yams and things like that. I was a very bland, basic person, and I'm still pretty bland with my food, but at least I try a little bit more. Unless I'm the one cooking it, then I run for the hills because I know my cooking of vegetables is just not going to be okay.
I like that. Deanna.
I'm going to say that I genuinely love a good salad as an adult. And as a kid, that was just like, gosh, what punishment to have to eat like a piece of lettuce, It was awful. And I love it now. I mean, I don't like making it. I really hate getting all the things and putting it all together. It's so much work. But there's a great like little chain here called Crisp and Green, and they do it all for you. And I love it. It's perfect. And it's genuine. Like I crave it. And it blows. You could have told me at 15 that I would crave a salad when I was 38. I never would have believed you. And now I'm like, I'm going to go to Crisp and Green today.
I like that. Thank you all for answering those questions. This is the work-life balance song. So it's work and it's life and it's balance and it looks different for everyone. So thank you.
Look at him changing it up on us. Wasn't even in the question list.
I wanted to know, so I know there had to be somebody out there who wanted to know these questions. Blame Dr. Bell for sharing her curiosity. No. Dr. Farron, do you want to go into the break or you want to go into another question?
Let's do that. Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
I do want to thank everybody that's with us though today. You guys are amazing. Thanks for those of you chatting in the comments. I appreciate you, Leslie, Professor Roxana, Leah, Marjana. Oh my gosh. I know that Carrie is in here, is dropping jokes right and left. Grace, thank you. Tanq, thank you for being here. Oh my gosh. And if we missed you, we will get back to you in the chat section. Sometimes we don't see them, so we apologize for that. Melissa, thank you so much. Nani, thank you. And Camille for being here. Everybody for being here. All right, I am ready. Let's talk about the Work-Life Balance Summit. My gosh, you guys, this is coming in just a few days. I need you to get to this website. I want you to check it out. Please, there is the link in the comment section. Grab that. Check it out. You'll be able to, you can watch this video as it goes through showing you all the presenters, but you can also scroll through and see the sessions when you get into the lobby. And you don't have to, you can come in and see the lobby. You don't get the start button. I get the start button, but you get to maybe select after you purchase your tickets here. We're going to start every day at 9 a.m., just getting together, getting our coffee, making sure everybody knows where they need to be. Come hang out with us, presenters, chatting, get to know each other. And then amazing, we start right away. We've got Teecee, who's on tonight, Camille, who was on last night, Jamie was on last night. I mean, so many people. Every hour, there's 2 presenters for you to select. Now, don't worry about it. They're all being recorded, and you'll have the recording for 2 weeks. So you'll be able to go back and watch the other ones or go back and take notes. Like, this is the amazing piece about this. For your money that you're paying to come join us, you get to go back and watch it. You can read over your notes, go back through it. So it's amazing. So looking at all of these incredible sessions, I'm closing it out with Journaling Your Way Through Life. Hope you can stay for that one as well. You'll hear a little bit about my personal story and some of different methods of journaling for you. Then on Saturday, we start again. Grab your coffee, join us at 9 a.m. And then we go ahead and have sessions. Again, there's 2 sessions every hour with amazing presenters who are talking about their field. So they are experts in their field. You also get this great itinerary for yourself so that you can see what you have each day and when you are supposed to be where after you've bookmarked it. And then you can see all the speakers. You can go into the speakers. You can check out Creative Living Ideas YouTube channel. You probably want to subscribe to that so that you don't miss an episode of any of the 2350 Effect lives. You can also go in and check out people's LinkedIn pages and connect with them. So you want to make sure that you're able to do that also. And then you can also just check out their bios. You can get some information. This is some information on Teecee. She dropped in some information and when her session is, her LinkedIn and her YouTube channel as well. So making sure that you grab your ticket. We have options for you all. You have a 1-day ticket. You can come for just Friday. You can come for just Saturday. You can come for both days. So they're very affordable. Click on the QR code, go to the link, check it out. We would love for you to be with us 10 days and we're presenting 13 hours, 27 minutes. You want to be with us. It's going to be such fun. All right. I'm going to go into the network. I want to show you guys and tell you a little bit about the 2350 network. So this is also a network with some of our presenters are already in our network. So if you liked connecting with them, then you can join us and connect with them within our network. It's called the 2350 Effect. Don't let 10 minutes of a bad moment disrupt the other 23 hours and 50 minutes of your day. Make every minute of your every day count. The 2350 Network, it's time to bring people together. This is our mission and our vision, our brand values, and you can click right here. There's a small application you can fill out to be a part of the network, and then we'll send you information about that. There is a small fee to join the network, and there's member showcases, professional development, virtual wellness. Again, Damien and I are co-founders of the 2350 Network. We hope that you join our network. We also have events every month for you to be able to participate in. We have our schedule of events on here, as well as Damien will go in just a minute and show you the campus that we have for you to be a part of our network. We also have a member feature. So right now, this is our magazine from the Virtual Wellness Experience. Great information in here, lots of tips and information about our presenters, people that you'll probably want to connect with. It's still for sale. There's a digital copy and a physical copy, but we also do a member feature. Jamie Rockymore Best, who was on here last night, is the owner of this magazine. This is the Creative Living Ideas edition, but my gosh, she has a magazine. Like, that is the coolest thing in the world. So she's an incredible person and puts out an incredible, beautiful product of a great magazine. You can also go to, Creative Living Ideas website, and you can check out where the Work-Life Balance Summit is. We're already preparing for the virtual wellness experience in March. Lots of learning opportunities and courses for you, books and blogs available for you also. There we go. All right. And Damien's going to show you the network.
And yes, this is the network, is the virtual, this is the logo, the virtual space, the campus. This is the lobby. It is actually set up like a college campus in space. Here's the courtyard and the grounds. Also, here's the auditorium, which seats 43 people, when you can have lives and get on a big screen and have a lot of presentations and stuff. You probably can have a concert there too if you want. Also, here's the network community room. Here's the network pool and recreational area. That is my picture, and I also can have my face just like how we have it here. And then here's my virtual office space. Here's Dr. Farron office space with Erica, who's a 2350 member, and Dr. Farron went over all the perks of being a member. So reach out. And also, being a member gives you discounts on all the summits and up-to-date information and a lot of workshops, lunch and learns, and et cetera, et cetera. I'm excited about the network. I'm a 2350 member. I'm happy. Most of the people here are 2350 members as well. And I'm also happy about the Work-Life Balance Summit. I'm even more happy about that. This is day 2, and we're having this conversation around Meet the Presenters. Dr. Mel has been gracious to come to our second show and talk about her book. So go back and look at that. It's in the event section on my page, and it's also on the Creative Living Ideas website, YouTube page, so you can see that episode. It was definitely a good conversation, and I missed. Deanna came back and dropped a 5-15-minute video and stopped by. Jackie, first time here for the effect. Teecee, first time here for the effect. Love having you here. The question I want to know is, what do you prefer, audio events or live streams? With that said, I see a lot of deep thinking.
Oh, I'll just jump right in, Damien.
SAT question.
Oh, I love this one. So it depends on my mood, but if I'm running it, if I'm hosting it, audio events all the time, because I don't have to worry about, is the camera going to work, and is everybody going to get the link right, and am I going to remember how to zap it from StreamYard over to LinkedIn, because we know what happened when I tried to do that once, Damien. But I love joining other people's lives, just because sometimes when you hear people's voices over and over on an audio event, you sometimes just think of them this way, but when you actually see their faces, you can see they're a real life human just like you. They have faults, they have tattoos, they have different things going on in their life that you may not have thought was going on with them. So I do love kind of changing it up, and I will always join other people's lives, but I'm probably not going to be hosting any myself.
Girl, you are my kindred. We tried to have a live event last week, and I could not get it to stream to LinkedIn. I was so disappointed. It was my first attempt and possibly my last. This week I made Tanya do it, so she's gonna. But I am the same way. It depends. So if I'm a podcaster, so most of the time I'm an audio person, but I am totally great with doing an event like this where it's live and I have someone on the other side to talk to. If I have to do it by myself, maybe not so much, because then, you get inside your own head and it's a little harder when you're by yourself.
I like that. How about you, Teecee?
Can I love the both? Okay, so I love the both of them. I've been trying to see if I'm gonna pick one, but I kind of love the both because I'm in love with live streams. Maybe because sometimes I just love to talk to myself and I love to demonstrate to myself. So it comes to me really naturally. I love it. Sometimes I just like it. Sometimes I do this whole practice, so IG has like this feature where you can get to practice without going live, so I do that a lot, and it's fun to me. I could just take my phone and just record, so it comes very natural to me, so I love it. However, I feel like audio when I do it so much without going into the live streams, it could make me a bit lazy, because you see, with audio, trust me, I could be lying down on the bed and you would think I'm actually standing, but girl, I'm literally like on my bed, you know. And I'm like, there's a time I did like audio for like strictly just, I think, almost a week, 2 weeks without going live, and I'm like, girl, you're becoming lazy, like start you know. So I don't know, I love the both of them. It's fun to me, so yeah, it's fun, so I love them both. I can't pick.
I like that. Deanna, what's your preference?
I'm gonna go live events all the way. They're just they just feel so much more relational, because you can see the people, and so I love a live event.
I love that. Teecee, I said both yesterday. So
Me too. I agree. I live in both. And and I'm just going to give kudos to Jackie. You run a great audio room. You really do, I mean, and that's a talent in itself also, to keep your audience engaged without all of this visual effect going on with that. And TC, I'm right there with you. I'm probably in my pajamas if I'm hosted an audio room. There is no doubt about it.
I'm doing this.
Damien's opposite. We had this conversation. He's like, no, if I'm doing any event, whether they can see me or not, I am like ready. I'm like, oh no, girl, no.
I'm in my pajamas right now.
I love this group. You guys are so fun.
I love it. But it's good to have those options and opportunities that this environment creates, that chance to be able to do audio live stream, us to be able to be on this platform, have this conversation around, we meet the presenters, that do a conference virtually with the Work-Life Balance Summit, like to have those things. And hey, if you're in there and you're putting down team replay, team live, team audio, when you join the summit, you can go in your pajamas, you can put a tuxedo on, it doesn't matter. Come any way you feel is comfortable from your workspace or wherever you want. It is definitely a comfortable space and environment. Dr.
Yes.
Fan, what question you want to talk about?
I have two questions, but I'm going to ask the one. I think the audience probably wants to know a little bit about what you all are going to present. Okay. I know they can look at it, but let's get serious. They probably want to hear from you, but you cannot give it away. Do not give them your takeaways yet, because they got to come and see you, but give them a little taste. Jackie, give them a little taste about what you're going to talk about.
Oh my gosh. So most people try to act like everything is warm and fuzzy and wonderful in their life, right? Guess what? Sometimes the people we love the most drive us the most unbalanced ever. It can affect both our work life. It can affect our social life. It can affect maybe our educational aspects. So I'm going to talk all about what to do when your family unbalances you. And I am not going to just be talking like from some textbook type of stuff. I'm going to talk about real experience and real ways that you can work through some of those things that really kind of get you, but then you start feeling guilty because it's your family and you're not really supposed to, not be there to support them, even if they're not supporting you. So I'm super excited. I hope you can get a couple great takeaways, even if your family, and guys, family is defined how you define it. So it could be your friends network. It could be your work family. Let me help you walk through some stuff. And even if you think they are A-okay 100%, while we're talking, maybe you're going to learn some tips to even elevate yourself a little bit more and maybe even help your family along the way.
So relevant, right? Work-life balance. Like, boy, you dropped the bomb on the life part right there. There it is. It's definitely the life part. I love that. I cannot wait to hear that piece. Dr. Mel, what do you have for us?
Mine is Ignite Your Path to Freelance Success. And I recently started my own educational consultancy and coaching. So I do coaching also, but I learned a lot along the way. One of the things that I did not do well, one of the many things I did not do well, was balance doing that, starting that with taking care of myself. And I'm the workaholic because I'm by myself most of the time here at my apartment during the day. And so I can work from basically the time I get up until the time I go to bed and forget to drink water, get up, move around, that kind of stuff. And so I am going to talk about how to balance that when you're starting a new freelance business or any business, actually.
Absolutely. And so I love that piece being in here, when Damien and I selected, kind of topic titles, going into that entrepreneur piece. I always say that wrong. Entrepreneurial piece is important for people. We have a lot of entrepreneurs that are on LinkedIn or that are aspiring entrepreneurs. So making sure that you get to Dr. Mel's session would be amazing. All right,
And real
Deanna.
quick, real quick, Dr. Mel, can you tell us what IGNITE means, the acronym? Sorry.
Yes, it is an acronym. See, I can't even talk today, but it's initiate, gravitate, navigate. Then you're going to imagine, transform, and then empower is the E.
Thank you.
He's been wanting you to say that the whole night.
Have been nudging.
I know you have. I know. I love it. All right. Deanna, you were going to tell us without giving it away.
Without giving it away. It's like a teaser trailer. Yes. So mine's about increasing self-awareness. There's a few things I've come to realize as a therapist. And one of them is that if you want to increase resilience, you've got to be able to self-reflect. And that's actually something that most of us don't know how to do very well, to really think inward and think about what triggers us, what makes us feel good, what we need for space for ourselves, any number of things. I can't tell you the number of people I work with that like all of a sudden, and I've been guilty of this, you don't realize you're burnt out until you've passed the burnout finish line, because we're struggling to self-reflect. And self-reflection, being able to think about your own mind, your own experience of the world and the relationships in your life, whether they are professional relationships or personal relationships, is key in terms of your mental wholeness. And really making space to take care of yourself in addition to thriving in life. So that's what I'm going to be talking about.
I love that. And it is perfect again for the Work-Life Balance Summit. A lot of times we don't know where we're at, right? And so how do we dig in? How do we, I want to say self-analyze, take a pulse on ourselves. Where are we at? So I love that you're going to be there to share. Deanna's been with us since last October with the original Work-Life Balance Summit. And, all of these, as well as Dr. Mel has been. So appreciate these ladies who are sticking it out with us, but they're giving people amazing tools, as well as, Jackie being with the last summit. And now we're excited. We have Teecee with us. So many exciting things. All right. So Teecee, give them a taste. What are they going to learn about from you?
Starting a business is very easy. I mean, that's what I think. You see, scaling your business is where we start to think that we have to either sacrifice our lives or sacrifice something. But the truth is, you can have everything you desire, when you have the right balance. And so with scaling your business, you can also get to scale your life so that you have everything you literally desire. Now, during the summit, what I'm literally going to be breaking down is practical steps, implementational steps, strategies that you can literally right away implement in your business. So you're not only growing in your business, but you are scaling intentionally in your personal life. Because you see, when you're successful in your personal life, you become successful in your business as well. But I'm going to show you how to get it done. So yeah, you need to come to see it and get it.
Love it. I love it. Dropping gems right here while we're at this moment and putting it all together for us. So Guy, thank you for your question in the comment section. The date of the summit is October 4th and 5th. These amazing presenters will all be there on those 2 days. And again, it's all recorded. So, if you can't catch one of them, or you can only be there for part of it, you can always come back to that link and you can just watch the recording, and you have 2 weeks to watch the recording. So plenty of time to go back, take some notes, and follow all of these amazing people that are here with us. Thank you, everybody.
And I dropped the link in the chat.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I hope you can join us. Can I ask my second question? It's a quick one. Okay. So the other question that I wanted to know, are you guys, let's see, well, how was I going to say this? Do you prefer to order in or cook at home? Order food in, like get pizza, Chinese, whatever, or cook.
I'll
Mel,
go.
Dr. Mel and Mike like that. Unmuted.
Yeah. I love to cook at home. Tony and I like to cook together and we try different things. I do enjoy a good meal out every now and then, but you know, it's kind of expensive and we are very health conscious right now. We've gained a few pounds, our clothes no longer fit. And so we got to get back to a good, healthy place in our lives. So we have been really focusing on cooking very healthy and eating very healthy. So, but I love to cook, and this is my favorite time of year. So I'm all about soups and those kind of things right now. So I just made chili last night and I've eaten it like 4 times already. So
It is that time of year for sure. For sure. Deanna.
Dr. Mel, chili's like my favorite meal to cook because you can have it 18 different ways. You can eat it all week. It freezes great. It's like my favorite thing to cook, but I don't cook very often because it's so much work. It's just like I have such a busy professional life that sometimes like the thought of like doing all the dishes and the prep and all of the things to just cook the meal seems like so much work. So I don't actually eat out all that often, but I do. I think I like get stuff from the grocery store where I can like assemble a sandwich or like someone has already made the rotisserie chicken and then I eat the rotisserie chicken all week. Like that's usually what I do. I want to cook real bad and maybe someday.
I like that. It freezes well, which is so true.
And there is so many versions of chili that you can make. I agree.
and you can have it on a
It's a
chili dog.
sandwich,
Or
a
there's
rice,
so many ways. Yes.
noodle, yep, salad.
I love it. Jackie, tell us, cook or order in?
In a perfect world, I would have somebody cook for me, but those options are not very often, if at all. So I'm not the world's best cook. I do love what Dr. Mel talked about trying to incorporate some healthier meals to make some different changes. So I am trying, but it's not going super great. Kind of like Deanna said, there's not a lot of time. And it's like, do I spend my time doing all that and go into the grocery store? Or do I just eat something simple and do life on other times? So in a perfect world, I'd love to cook, but it really is not my thing.
I love it. Teecee, you got little guys at home still. So how are you cooking more or ordering in?
I love food. I can't lie about it, you know, and beautifully for me, my boys love food as well. So I love to cook. I think we have this time where we get to mess up the entire kitchen, especially during the weekend. So I love to cook, but you know, sometimes I get questions like, Teecee, you're always like busy and all of that. So how do you get to do all of these things? The truth is, I think it got to a stage in my business that I realized that I love to cook, but you know, cooking has a process, you know, and so I can't necessarily do all of the process. So I have, you know, I have like a store where I order like the fresh ingredients and all of it. So I order it, I get to prepare during the weekends, cook like the main part of it, put it in like, and then put it in the freezer, and then I cook my thing because I don't know, for some reason I just feel like, you know, I eat so much good food that I don't think the stores will be able to keep up with me. So like I order in, you know, every now and then. But no, I love to cook. Mm-hmm.
Sounds like we should all be heading to Teecee. Like she likes messing up the kitchen. She's ordering all this fresh food. She's cooking it. She's prepping it. Like we could probably stay there for the week and
yeah, you will love it during
eat
the week.
us.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love it. I like to cook too when I have time to cook. I like to cook when I have time to cook. But I do love ordering in. I try to limit it though, you know? I mean, you got to have Chinese like once every 2 weeks. You just have to. Definitely. Pizza. Damien, I know you got me on the pizza. Come on. All right, Damien.
Barbecue, maybe younger, not now. Not really a big meat eater. I'm trying to respond to what God's saying. I like the smell of barbecue, not necessarily to eat barbecue too much. I prefer cooked food over takeout because you feel a difference in your body. And when Deanna was talking about like triggering stuff, bad macaroni is a trigger for me. Very bad. Like just no. So I prefer cook stuff at home. You know what's going into your body and your system. And the older I get, the more I start thinking about stuff like that. So that's mine.
Next time we're gonna have to do the question. Maybe we just do it right now. Homemade macaroni and cheese is a number 1. Boxed mac and cheese is number 2. What is your go-to? Oh, you all make homemade mac and cheese? Seriously? It doesn't mean that you just like it.
No, I eat other people's homemade mac and cheese.
That's what I'm saying, Jackie. Yeah. Someone else made it. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do box.
I've just given that job over to my daughter-in-law and my son. They make amazing mac and cheese. So
Nobody's making me mac and cheese these days. So box it is for me.
I do have a quick story for you. A long time ago when my oldest son was pretty little, I think my middle son was born too. We were going home one night and I'm like, okay, what are we going to have for dinner tonight? And my son said, let's have leftovers. And I'm like, well, we don't have leftovers. And he's like, well, can't you make some? That's how much we had leftovers. He thought it was an actual meal that you made.
That's awesome. That's hilarious.
I love that one. That is great. It's a great story.
And then they became teenagers and we never had leftovers. Three boys in the house. No, never a leftover.
So do they eat leftovers now that they're out of the house?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Yeah. They just don't cook as big as we did when they were all there because to feed those people all week long because they were busy people. So I had to cook big on the weekends and we had leftovers a lot.
I agree, Janelle. All right. So we always kind of end this thing with thank you all for coming. This is only day 2. I learned so much about each and every one of y'all. It made me also reflect on myself as well. We always end this conversation with a quote. Dr. Farron, you want to take this one away?
Yes, and I'm sticking true this week. I'm just sticking true to my original quote, be the change you wish to see in this world. That is what we are doing with the Work-Life Balance Summit. We are making change in this world. We are here to be on a mission to help people. So let's do that. All right. Deanna, you go next.
Yeah, the quote that I think of most often is said by Dr. Roy Barsonis. He heads out the Contemporary Relational Psychoanalytic Institute in Seattle. And he says that we are conceived in relationship, formed in relationship, harmed in relationship, and transformed through relationship. And it is true. Our lives happen in the context of relationship. They hurt us. They also heal us. That's the foundation and the soul of what I do as a therapist is in the relationships that I form with the people that I treat. And when I think about even how I wound up here tonight, sitting here this very night, and I trace back all the relationships that got me to this point, it's pretty wild to think about. So relationships are where it's at.
I love that quote. I think you've shared that at another session, and I love that. It's relevant for sure. Jackie, how about you?
You know, I do love listening to quotes. I tend to do the same quotes over and over and over again, but all of my favorite quotes are pretty much Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. quotes. And so I will do one of the quickest ones because it is so near and dear to my heart, both in my work life and my personal life. The time is always right to do what's right.
Love that. That is so true. Beautiful. Beautiful. Teecee, what do you have?
Okay, so I think I have like three quotes that I love, but I'm just going to share one. And it's simple. So true success isn't just measured by, the numbers you have in your bank accounts, the money you think you have, but basically the balance that you can find in the everyday, that you wake up in the morning, your everyday living, what you say to yourself, how happy you are, the joy, the happiness, the impact you're able to have on people one day at a time. That for me is true success. So, yeah, that's my quotes for today.
Beautiful. Very beautiful. Dr. Mel.
This one comes from my book, and I love quotes too, but this is one that I've not really used it a lot, but I really did like it. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. That's Winston Churchill. And life is hard. Work is hard. Things are hard. And if we don't see immediate success, we tend to feel like we have failed. If we have a setback or things that happen, it feels like a failure. But it's really just a learning experience, not a failure necessarily. It's teaching you what not to do or how to do something better, or maybe that you should have taken a different path for whatever that is. And we have to remember that we can't just quit. It's hard. And if you quit everything that was hard, you would never get off the couch. So just have that courage to keep going.
I love that. So perfect and relevant again for the summit coming up October 4th and 5th. Damien?
You know what mine is. It's the 2350 effect. It's don't let 10 minutes of a bad day disrupt the other 23 hours and 50 minutes of your day. People get caught up in that 5-10 minutes of somebody saying something to them negative. And when you ask them, is their day, how their day gone? They say it's the worst day ever, or I had a bad day. And it's really 5 or 10 minutes of a bad day. So again, don't let 5 minutes, or let 10 minutes of a bad day, a bad moment disrupt the other 23 hours and 50 minutes of your day. The network is the cause, and this is the effect. Thank you.
Good words to live by. Gosh. Oh my gosh. So here we are at an hour already. I knew this was going to fly by. You all are amazing. Those of you in the audience, go to creativelivingideas.com, get your tickets, come join us October 4th and 5th. Thank you all for being here tonight. We greatly appreciate you, your time, your energy, your knowledge. Appreciate you.
Thank you all. It's only day 2.
Yay.